Hello, Kickstarter, and welcome to our third, I believe, video update. Yeah, it's our third. Today we'll be talking a little bit about world creation, some of the inspiration on that, where we want it to go, where it has gone. But first off, before we get into that, we'd like to thank you guys so much for all of your support, for the trust that you've put in us. We're very proud to have you guys as our backers in this endeavor so far. As you know, we've already reached 50% of our funding. Last check, just a little while ago, we had $554, and well, it looks like we're doing well. Starting into the world creation stuff, as you probably noticed with the demo, we really wanted to make it so that it was easy to create worlds. More than just, grabbing a custom adventure from a pre-built generic fantasy or something like that. We wanted you to be able to walk away from something like, say, a book or a movie or a video game and say, I'd really like to play this adventure in this kind of world. We wanted you to be able to sit down there and start playing it right away. That you don't have to waste time as a GM balancing out these item charts and feat charts and ability charts and worrying that, say, your Jedi class was overpowered or that your mage was underpowered or anything like that. We wanted to make it so that when putting together a story, when putting together an adventure, you didn't have to worry if the encounters were too weak or too strong, making it so that if you wanted to, you could play off the cuff a whole lot easier, because you wouldn't have to, say, look through a monster book and try to find a difficulty level that was strong enough to challenge your players, but weak enough that it wasn't killing them, and oh gosh, I'm having trouble balancing out how tough my party is or how weak my party is or anything like that. We've really worked on making it so that the world creation can be fast and easy for you. We've also worked on getting deeper rules that make it so that you can spend your time crafting the world if you so choose. That, yes, you just run this really fun campaign in this world and everybody's interested in doing more. You know what? Let's flesh this out a little bit more. Let's tag in these extra rules. We've really made it so that the rules for world building are very modular. They are, let's plug this point in and this point in and this point in, that are already working machines that can apply, just like the trait rules, to many different situations. But we'll go over just a few of the things here that really made, were important to us as we were putting together the structure for world building. The first thing was, as we've talked about probably already in the character creation, this idea of the traits. Because of the way that we run everything off of a single point system, it makes it so that things are already auto-balanced as far as value. This way, you know the exact comparison, you could say, between, say, this broadsword and this crossbow. If you really want to go in, you can go in and make your item lists as traits, and they're already pre-balanced, not pre-balanced, but they're balanced by you as you make them because they're set in a level system with a single point. The next thing with that was that we wanted to make it so that it was very easy for a GM to balance. With the I am not left-handed rule that we have talked about before and is found in the demo rules, the GM can change up the pace of a battle as the battle goes on. That, if this horde of goblins or this small group of, stormtroopers or something isn't quite the challenge that they were supposed to be, you can add some extra points to them, just mid-combat, and scale it properly to your party. This makes it a lot easier to, like I said, do off-the-cuff encounters, so that you're not sitting here flipping through monster books or anything like that and hoping that you're balancing it out properly. And if it doesn't balance out, oh well, I guess we learned, right? Along with that, though, we also wanted there to be a simple form of escalation, that the characters would advance as fast or as slow as you chose, rather than running off of some complicated formula or something. We'll have a couple of ways that, suggestions, I should say, of how character points can be awarded, so that your game can escalate really quick and get more and more powerful as time goes by, or it can escalate very slowly, be very rational, down to earth, not over the top. just bringing up a couple of the things about the World Builder. We're planning on releasing another expansion for the demo. Right now you've got the basic demo that gives you the core rules for how to play, you've got an adventure, and you've got a content expansion that explains how to create characters from the base rules. We're wanting to release another one that explains a little bit more about some of the rules for making a world custom built. Part of the setup that we've got with it is this idea of elements. In the demo it mentions them very slightly, but it specifically says this is a physical element. The way that we've got it set up is that when building a world from scratch, list out certain elements of conflict that will take place. These can be anything from physical to mental to magical to even social or sanity, allowing you to build worlds from all sorts of different spectrums. These elements have, depending on how they are used, specific attributes that will be applied to them, and then either thresholds or trauma bars that they are used for. One of the things that we'll be introducing with this is a special type of trauma bar called a power bar. This makes it so that you can create sort of a way to differentiate energy traits from the standard physical traits, you could call them, or the non-energy traits. A place where you can receive trauma as opposed to sacrificing or using up pools. So just little rules like this, that can be applied to all sorts of things from, your basic, this is a magic user, so he will have a mana bar, all the way to something more complex like, this is the sanity, and this is how you actually face off against something like, say, a Cthulhian horror, is by taking these cuts in sanity to do the things necessary to beat them, or to at least get away alive. So that's kind of what we were wanting to just go over really quickly with you here for the world creation explanation. Like I said, we'll have another expansion hopefully by the end of the week for you. And once again, thank you so much for your support. Keep spreading the word. And yeah, we'll see you on Thursday.